Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our neck of the woods. How you guys doing today?
Howdy, howdy.
Good to see everybody hanging out already. So, all right, hold on. Give me a second here. I apparently was not all the way ready. All right. So, good morning, B-Dog. How's your weather up there? All nice and wet and snowy? We'll let a couple more people pop in here. I'm B-Dog. It shows that you're the only one in here. Just wet? We had a cold front come in right after all that wet. And now everything's just kind of crispy. Hi, Crystal. It's good to see you, hon. So yeah, I titled this, "What Color Are Your Soul Garments?" And I did that for a reason. So I kind of wanted to wait till folks got in here to discuss it, but we might as well go ahead and start the discussion so y'all aren't waiting. And so I don't really want an answer to that question. I more would like people to just sit and think about that. I heard it referenced this morning in something I was watching about. I heard it referenced this morning in something I was watching about different things going on, and the guy was talking about soul garments in relation to your chakras, and it really got me thinking. Good afternoon, Brian. Really got me thinking about, so what color are your soul garments? And I thought that would be not just a good title, but also something to ponder, something to really get to the heart of the matter, so to speak. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm
Breathing?
doing pretty good. No, got the fire going. Got me some cuddly kitties. Doing well. Here's my big brother. So, yeah, I thought it'd be a good way to go about a conversation today. What do you think about that?
Cool.
Well, I don't think our chaos is over. I think there's still a lot of chaotic energy floating around out there. And yeah, there's Lucy. And I feel like, if we can let go of our egoic third dimensional selves that we tend to live in, all of us, because we're human, and because we've been raised in a society that strokes the ego all day long. So you can't know your soul's garment until you let go of the ego. You want to say hi, baby?
Yeah.
Hey, Raina.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing, Miss Beautiful?
Good.
Good. You made any more drawings?
I mean,
every day, huh?
Yeah.
You're going to have your mama's talent.
Oh, she's going to be so much brighter and better than I ever thought about being.
Yeah, she's got all those years to practice.
She's grabbing some pictures. Hold on. And are this one we already showed?
No.
Okay, come on.
I want to show them the bookmark I made.
Oh, the bookmark you made.
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get the light just right so they can see it.
Cool.
And the reason the word Sarv is spelled in crayon is because there's an FNF character and her name is Sarvente. And I drew the demon version of her because at first this is the only version I knew of her. Because the first mid-fight Nasus song I listened to was Zavala. Then I listened to Casanova, and then Gospel, which was the very last.
Can I give you a tip? When you speak with adults, speak slower, so they understand every word out of your mouth. No, I'm not kidding. Listen, kids vibe at a different energy level than adults do, right? Like, you know, when you speak to grandma, if you talk too fast, she's like, wait, stop, slow down, right? Okay, same thing. Hey, Camo, Pugs, Lisa, everybody.
Anyway, Gospel was the last Sorvente song within her timeline of the mid-fight Nasus. And that is when she reveals her demon form, basically. Except she tries to just, she is so nice. She tries to be nice to everyone.
And you like her because of that?
Yeah.
See? Good practice, huh?
Yeah. And there's this one FNF song called Perish. It's nothing negative at all. It's so happy.
It is a pretty upbeat song. All right. We good?
Yep.
All right. You going to say hi to the people in chat that said hi to you?
I did say hi. I was like, hello, everyone.
All right. Well, I guess she's retiring to her room now. I love that child.
How can you not?
I know, right? She is such a beautiful little beam of light.
She's a blessing to y'all's life.
Oh yeah. Yes, she is. So yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I kind of wanted to get everybody's input on that. What do you think about that? The garments of your soul. You know, I don't want to know what color you think they are. I don't want to know that. I want us to think about how we see through the eyes of our heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And drop our ego to see what color our soul truly wears. I think when I heard it said this morning, it really struck me like as something very potent. There's my pappy and my Anna.
Hey, everyone in chat, I love you. Yeah, it's hard to get people to let down their guard.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's hard for some people to let down their guard even with themselves.
Yeah,
you know,
because
because
scared
you
what
spend
they'll
your whole
find.
life, right? You spend your whole life being taught to look outside yourself for the answers, when all the answers truly do reside within.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking inside yourself and seeing yourself without ego, and I think I think that's good medicine. I think that's the good medicine you need to really figure it out, you know. Hi Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Heather. Hi, everybody. I
I'm so
think what
happy.
that topic is pretty interesting.
I thought it would open up conversation.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is the same, but I got a point to my life that I used to always blame everything on other people. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know, you're the one that's doing this. You're the one that's got to make the change. You know, you got to look within myself to try to find myself and to correct the things that I should have corrected beforehand.
Right. And you know, self-responsibility is vital if you are to move forward on your spiritual journey. Taking responsibility for your own actions and being able to forgive yourself for like bad past decisions and the outcomes of said decisions is really, really important, because until you can do that with an open heart towards yourself, you won't truly be able to do that for anyone else, you know.
Exactly. If I don't look within myself and change me, how can I expect to help anybody else? Because I can't do it myself. But I did, and I cleaned all that bad energy out, and I forgave myself. So,
That's always step one.
yes, ma'am.
i i I see you gathering information, grandmother.
You can almost hear those wheels grinding, can't you? um, in some sense of finding oneself and coming to the reality that looking in oneself, we have to be totally honest, is a very difficult step. It was a very difficult step for myself to do that. Nobody beats me up as badly as I beat up myself when I do something wrong or I hurt
Yeah.
someone's feelings.
Yep.
Sometimes
True.
it's very difficult for me to communicate to people how I feel. So, like yesterday, it was a big step for me to come out and say what I was sensing about somebody in our chat. Because of the way I've been kind of trained throughout my life, I have to become more confident and take that little chance, no matter what anybody thinks, feels, or says about me, or even if I'm judged by others. I can't allow myself to be hurt by what other people think, or if someone else's feelings are hurt in some instances. Because if I am worried about what everybody else thinks all the
Tangles up
time,
your own truth, doesn't it?
I'm not going to get what I need to get out there. I'm not going to be totally showing truth and honesty to those that may need that little boost from something I say or something I might sense. I'll give you a little example. A few years back, my daughter wanted to go visit some of her friends. And I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about it. And I said, Sarah, please, whatever you do, I really don't want you to go, but you're old enough to make that decision for yourself. Please do not leave that area. Something bad's going to happen. Stay there for the night. and don't go unless you can spend the night. Well, my daughter ended up partying and she didn't listen. My daughter ended up in a very severe car accident.
Mm.
And I said, Sarah, I told you to stay there. Why didn't you listen? She said, I was drunk, Mom. And I forgot. Some people put things out sometimes without even knowing the reason why they're telling things. And I'm not trying to put more faith in what I say, but sometimes when you have an instinct about something, you're completely right about it. So try to listen to what that inner you is telling you.
Well,
I don't.
I think that's because
Those.
that's your spirit speaking to you. That's your
Yeah.
that's your inner God particle saying, "This is what you know. Here's your warning."
And in
There's a
that
reason.
case, yeah, and in
Go ahead.
that case, I would call it something to the effect of mother's intuition instead of woman's intuition.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Bridget, you said it. That's so eloquent, much more eloquent than the way I had said it. Our childhood indoctrination regarding good and bad often becomes a stumbling block when we seek inner reflection. And I think that is intentional. And just like Anna said, because we are raised in this society to believe one way and to look outside of ourselves, which was how this conversation started, I think. But when you get those inner answers for questions you have not even sought, you should listen to those, right?
Yep, try not to doubt yourself, but kind of analyze yourself and figure out if you feel that it's truth. I believe if it's truth, you're going to have a really good feeling about it and it's going to feel right.
Yeah. Yep. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be sunshine and lollipops either.
No.
Yeah, right. When especially like you with that about your child. I mean, that was your spirit saying, you know, put this out there, let her know, and you did what you were supposed to do. And I think a lot of us though we have a hard time with, and I'm going to tie this right in with what Bridget said. Um, that block is our ego. That block is ego. When we are not looking through the eyes of our heart, we are looking through the eyes of our ego, and we see things differently. Um, because there is a, what's the word? What's the word? It's not a vanity, but it's similar. But it's that ego. It's a problem. It tends to be, and I'll give you an example. This is a perfect example. When we get offended by somebody else's words that don't even apply to us, that is our ego getting in the way because of something that we have taken on in our lives, some label that we've accepted, um, it becomes an imagined wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you can say I don't like what this person says, but if you feel that that person's words that were spoken out loud were, and you took those into your heart, you made the choice to take those in, right?
Yes.
And if you're seeing it through your ego and you are highly offended by this person's words or that aren't even meant for you, then the question should be, why am I allowing this to affect me? Why am I allowing um, pain and misery and drama and despair and all these lower vibe emotions in in a place where I shouldn't be doing that, right? They weren't even meant for me. but I feel personally injured. And that's when we need to look inside and find where we have rended ourselves. Where do we need to stitch up and heal a wound? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey, Shep.
There's a lot of people that likes drama. I
Yeah.
cannot stand to be around excuse me, somebody that likes drama like that. I'm too old for that.
Well, and here's the
That
thing.
time.
Here's the thing about drama, Crystal, is that it's everywhere all the time in the world that we live in. And it comes in multiple forms. So there are multiple ways that we experience drama. And sometimes we experience it as trauma, right? Because drama is simply the acting out of things. So when we think about that, you know, normally when we consider drama, we consider like petty disputes or mouthy words back and forth, or any of that twisted up, tangled up nastiness, right? Name calling, all that. We consider that drama, right? That's our surface definition.
Yeah.
But really, what we are doing is we are allowing others' words to tangle us up inside. We are allowing their words to influence our thoughts. And that's how we experience drama. So part of it, I think, is untangling self from ego and being able to let go of implicated hurts from other people, right? Nobody can truly hurt you if you are seated in your spirit. No one on this plane can truly hurt you if you are seated in your spirit.
Yep.
Now, I don't mean that nobody can walk up and punch you, because yes, that can happen. But what I'm saying is, if you are living from that place, no matter what they do to you or say about you, the choice is yours to whether or not you will be injured by that person's words or actions.
Maybe you've been hurt before with those choice of words and you just take it to heart.
Yes, but see, then that is the place where you say, why am I allowing this to hurt me? What is it within me that is reacting to this? Right? And I'm human. I get hurt by things. You know, I'm not infallible. Nobody is. But when I feel that, I know that I need to go within. I need to take some time. I need to go within. I need to ask, why is this hurting me? What do I need to heal so that this outside thing doesn't affect that anymore? Right? What do I need to do to heal whatever wound I have inside that's allowing that? Because I'm going to say it like this, you know. A lot of times our traumas that we go through from childhood to adulthood can easily be triggered. And if they're easily triggered, you have a festering wound, right? And maybe that's not true for everybody. This has been my experience, and I can only speak from my experience. But I've had festering wounds that turned into infections that I didn't even know about. And those infections seeped out into my character. And I didn't like who I was. And the only way for me to change who I was at a soul level, at a spiritual level, was to go back and work on those and heal those infections and heal those wounds and stitch them up and try to go on. I think we're all a little Frankensteinish inside, honestly.
Frankensteinish. That's cool. Oh, I love it. You know, when put that out there like that, it also reminds me that some people are kind of chameleons. They change from point to point depending on the use of holding up one's origins, or depending on what crowd they're in. They may like wear a shirt of another color, present themselves differently. And how much truth is there in someone that does something like that? Being aware of what people around us are doing and seeing them in different company, how they present themselves and how they behave, can show a little bit about that person if you're being observant. I just
Yes.
felt like I needed to put that out there.
And that's true. But I do believe we all practice a little bit of chameleon medicine.
Yeah.
In the like, for an example, when you come on this channel, we talk a lot about spiritual matters, right? But
Yeah.
when we go on other channels, we may be talking about other things. And so we present ourselves differently according to what the topic of discussion is, or the content of that channel, or, different things like that. But I think, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
But it's being able to see, again, which eyes are you using? Your egoic eyes or your heart eyes? You see what I'm saying? If we are seeing people out and out change their entire character in different chats, then that's probably a little bit of the darker side of that chameleon medicine, I would assume, right? That would be that more of a Janus thing, two faces or multiple faces. And that, I find that people that are like that oftentimes don't have a true inner sense of who they are.
I definitely
And
know I behave differently when I go to church.
right. So, and like, you goof around when you're at the grocery store, but when you're in church, you're all nice and quiet and hands folded, and, you're listening and paying attention. So we all have, that chameleon medicine, if you will, to be able to adapt to whatever situation we're in. So I
Yep.
don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but
Right.
at the same time, you have to acknowledge that some people use that in a way to mask, like, their true intent or their true self, because they don't even know who their true self is. I think a lot of times when people are being two-faced, I call them Januses, like after the Greek god Janus that had the two faces and the two different personalities.
Yep.
That's what I say. And that's just because that's how I relate to it. Because I like chameleons. And I don't want to think of them negatively.
Well,
So
I know I like to wear a different color from time to time myself. As far as we talk about our clothing, you were talking about metaphorically pretty much about the color of our robe.
mhm.
But yeah, that's just part of the topic that I was thinking you were wanting to address, was way people change their colors.
Yeah, well, I hadn't thought of that, but I'm so glad you brought it up, because it is important, right? And
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Some people use it as a form of camouflage, right? To fit in wherever they are so that they don't feel like they don't fit in. You're right, Shep. So people will like them. But a lot of times, if you're searching for people to like you, um, how well do you love yourself, right? So I think I'm trying to come from a place of compassion and love here. And I'm trying to look at it as maybe those people are still just trying to find out who they are, or maybe they don't want to know who they are, or maybe they already know who they are and they don't like it. So they want to put on masks, in different places. And that happens. We know a lot of people that do that stuff. So I think there are multiple and various reasons that people do that. And that goes right back to the core of the matter. Do you see with the eyes of your soul, or are you seeing with the eyes of your ego? And I don't know why I keep harping on this. Apparently it's supposed to come out today, because I hadn't planned on talking about that at all.
Somehow it falls into place from time to time. But I kind of think
Yes.
it might be because that's what we're seeing a lot of. We don't know who we can trust and where we can get our information from. We're all looking to rely on each other to bring together and to be together. And there's how do we not be swallowed up by all of this disinformation and what is driving people into depression, anger? How do we not become consumed in these things that are causing so much stress? They're not healthy. It's definitely
No,
not healthy.
they're not. And that's what I call that tanglement, that surface stuff. I call it the surface stuff. It's garbage. It's on the surface. I think that, and you guys know how I feel. I've said it over and over again, and I've never hidden how I feel, that I feel the time that we are in now is not about what's going on the surface. There's a lot of stuff going on the surface, but you need to be right. You need to be right with Creator. You need to be sitting right with your soul. That's what this is really about. And all the rest of it is to distract you from being able to do that. Right? Because that's all it is. Every time you watch a news article or some fear porn or any of that nonsense, I feel like it's nonsense. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, and that's okay. Right?
I think you're
This
spot
is where
on.
I come from. Right. Well, I have to say that because even though most of you that are here and listening probably lean more towards that area, there are people who will listen later who will be like, oh, that's, bull. It's not bull. I think when you get too wrapped up in that surface stuff, you have no time to go within and find the true answers. If we are truly headed toward a world of beauty and love and light, and I believe we are, we have to experience darkness to be able to truly be thankful and recognize how wonderful that beauty and light is going to be. I am a firm believer that the duality of everything is important. Yes, evil exists in the world. Yes, good exists in the world. What will you feed? And if you are sitting here distracted by the fear porn they're putting out, if you're sitting here contemplating all day long how to be afraid of the things that you think are coming, you are not spending any time with your soul. You are not communing with the great web of life. That distraction is intentional. Hi, Peppy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Pappy.
Hiya, Anna. Hiya, Crystal. Heather. Raina.
She's off in her room.
Good for her. Well, it's I'm listening to your discussion while I was eating my ramen noodles, and it comes right down to the realization that, and you touched on it. Everybody, you know, I've said it over and over again. We're the generation that our forefathers talked about was coming. We're the generation where the spiritual battles that were predicted, the trying times that would face mankind were predicted. We're in those times. And this is very much an ongoing, dynamic, kinetic battle every day for your hearts, for your minds, and I would probably go out to say for your very souls. You know, the darkness that's in the world does not want you to reach enlightenment, does not want you to reach that point where you understand what your true being is. Because once you reach that point, they can no longer control you. And once enough of us reach that point that it goes over the tipping balance and the tipping point, and the change comes for that new world that we all hope will be here, you need to understand that in the new world, there will be certain things that will not be allowed to enter because they are in direct opposite polarity from that which is the energy that's in that place. In spiritual energy, in our soul energy, like attracts like. And that which is unlike tries to trap that light within its darkness and hold dominion over it. It has no power over you. You do not need its permission for you to walk forward on your path and in your strength and in your truth. But you need to understand that currently, right now, we're living in that world where there are these rules and there are these regulations and stuff that we have to negotiate. It's just like a big spiritual minefield that we're in. And if you keep that in mind, you know, then you keep the defenses up. But you're all doing a pretty good job here, from what I'm hearing anyways.
Hopefully we walk forward in this field and step on no more landmines, because that would be wonderful.
Well, you ain't gonna happen in my yard.
It's not likely to happen in mine
a couple in ours too.
Now, here's another thing I want to put out there for everybody. You know, you mentioned, you know, what is the color of your soul garment? Okay. And whatever the color is, and we're not talking about necessarily hues and things of this nature, although when we're dealing with frequencies and stuff like that, color has frequencies and those sort of things, but that's for another discussion. What is the color of the garment that you're wearing? Well, the color of the garment that you're wearing should be the color of your truth. Okay? Your spiritual progression is something that needs no one else's permission, nor is your spiritual progression anyone else's responsibility. You can receive tidbits of information that can help you on it, but ultimately it's your responsibility, okay? And it's in your control. So the garment that you wear should have the color of your truth on it, in the aspect of I am taking care of myself, yet I am going to be in good standing with all that's around me, and I try to be in harmony. That soul garment that you wear not only becomes a shelter against the elements that are around you, but also becomes a place that you can store within its inner pockets all the little tools and all the little necessities that you need to keep going forward on the path. So you paint your soul garment by what you put into it. It'll change color depending upon what you need. You know, if you need to have protection around someplace and you pull your soul garment around you, maybe you can envision it with a bunch of porcupine quills on the outside. So say, you know, you can pet me one way, but don't pet me the other.
Yes, when I heard it mentioned this morning, I've heard it mentioned before, but it seemed so relevant to the energy that I feel today. And since, you know, I can only speak from the place I stand in, um, I felt like this was maybe something we needed to cover with everyone and just get them thinking, you know, um, because as we round out these dark days, you know, you can't forget that the light is coming.
And it's
The
not waiting
new
for anybody.
exactly. And so how do we sit with ourselves, right? And it's something that only you can answer for you. No one can answer that for you but you. No one can look inside you and see what garment you wear internally. No one but you. And so I wanted to just share that thought out there so that maybe, you know, those who were wondering how to click something into place, maybe it would click something for them. um I don't know, you know, I'm always trying to help, and I never know what does and what doesn't. I go with what spirit tells me. So I don't always have words for it, but
Well,
someone does.
one of the ceremonies and teachings that I used to do, I just haven't had any recourse to do it recently with all the things going on, and since my retirement years have gotten here. But one of the things that I used to do when I would take people into Aquania in the um, relaxation therapy techniques and cleansing and clearing techniques and soul retrieval techniques, whatever you wish to call it. When I would take people into this deep place, this sacred space within sacred space within sacred space, I call it. One of the things that I always did, and you know, and you've touched right on it, Heather, is when I brought the people in there, you know, they usually came in with a backpack full of stuff that they've been carrying all of their lives. And when I took them into this place, they not only emptied the backpack of everything that was inside it and gave it away in that sacred space, they threw away the backpack that they were holding it in. And then I made them take off all of the clothes that they were wearing, because Creator doesn't need to have the clothes to see who you are. And then stand naked there without any of the accoutrements of cover up that you've had in your life. Once they had done that and released that and humbled themselves, so to speak, to be able to let go of that stuff, they always found that they were given a new set of clothes. May or may not be the same color, may or may not be the same style, whatever. But it was a new set of clothes, and they were given a new gathering basket from that point forward. So what's the color of that soul garment? Depends on whether or not it's the same one you've always worn.
Yep.
Can have a tendency to get stained, ripped, torn, no longer useful, threadbare, doesn't provide the warmth that's needed. Something to think about in those terms.
Yes. And there's something to be said for that. Back in the days when I was doing a lot of the really deep, digging out the infections of my inner soul, of my inner self. I was doing a lot of meditation, a lot of trance work, and different things to go within to heal some of those wounds. And I found a lot of times I had to reopen the wound with my own hand for the infection to leave, right? That was part of my healing process. And one of the most powerful meditations that I did, I had read about it in a book. And I thought, I need to do this. I need to do this. And it was about a journey downward, which is really just saying inward, right? In a lot of cases, in a lot of senses. Some people, perhaps it's downward, but for me, it was a inward spiral, so that I could get to the place that truly needed washed away. And it was so powerful that I still feel it when I think about it. And I can pull that experience up into my mind. And it was about traveling to my center, into the womb of the mother, and willingly submerging myself into the rivers of life to cleanse those things. And to this day, 20 plus years later, I can still remember every feeling that I had to go through for that healing. And many of them, I'm going to tell you, were very unpleasant. However, it changed me because I chose to be changed, because I chose to step into that water. And I couldn't see in that water. It was black as night because there was no light until it was washed away. So we all have our own life-changing episodes that we go through, and more than one usually, right? I mean, unless you're 10 like Raina, you've probably been through multiple life-changing experiences where you've had to change your thinking, or you've had to go inside and heal something in order to move forward. And I think Creator has intended that for us. That's as part of our experience. Because I certainly wouldn't be who I am today, sitting here talking with all of you from the place I can talk to you from, if I were still that same Heather that existed then. And so sometimes I think, Pappy, I think you hit on a real key. Well, I know you did, because you're Pappy. And I know you don't have all the answers, but you have a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom. And I respect that. But one of the true keys is, can you take off all the things that you have gathered? Can you be how you were created? Can you stand in that light and go forward from there?
Well, that raises another question. Can you, or are you willing to go through the eye of the needle? Are you willing to go to that spot, even if you're at your looked within spot, and discover that there's another opening there? And in order to get through that opening, everything that you're wearing has to come off. Otherwise, there's no room to squeeze yourself through it to the other side. Literally going through the eye of a needle. Or to put it in terms that people might understand, it would be like Jim Carrey getting out of that model of a rhinoceros standing in the middle of a field out there.
I'm sorry.
That is definitely a vision.
I had to
Well,
put the
you
little
know,
humor in there. You know me.
and I think that we don't, the way we have been taught to think in the world that we live in, many people think that death is an ending. It is not. It has never been. It is a cycle. Life, death, and rebirth. It's all a cycle. And when you consider that, I know myself, I have gone through many small deaths in my life in order to be reborn anew. And I compare it somewhat to the phoenix, because there are literal ashes that you have to rise from, and you are the only one that can stand up from those ashes. Nobody can pull you up from those when you've burned yourself down. And I've experienced that more than once. And it's taught me a great many things new every time I've had to go through that. And I call it the little death, because if I hadn't had that little death of a part of myself, I would not have been able to grow and go forward. And I think we change our robes continuously through our life, kind of like you do on a day-to-day basis. Not quite as often, but when we talk about garments, we're also used to being covered up, and your baby didn't come into the world with Nikes on her feet. That's not how we're born into this world. That's not natural for us. And so from the time we are born, instead of garments being used to clothe us and protect us from the cold or the rain or bugs or whatever, we use them as a cloaking device almost, right? When you see these people that have to have certain brand name clothes or they won't fit in, kids at school who make fun of other kids because they're not wearing Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever. I don't know all the names and stuff.
There
But
was a few times I was in that flood pants stage.
but that's what society teaches us. And until we can go inside and really, really, truly see ourselves in our own skin, do you know how many people exist on our physical plane right now that still don't love themselves in their own skin? You were a special creation, completely different than anyone else. And I don't even care if you're a twin. You are still different from your twin. You are still individual. And so I think when we are taught those self-castigating behaviors, it robs us of something. And it robs us of a way to really love who we are, to love that we have been created for a reason, that we all matter, we all interconnect, we all link together in the most beautiful way, unless we choose not to, because we all still have free will. And so it does sadden me that people can't walk in their earth robe, let alone their spiritual robe. And I don't know what medicine to put out there for that. All I got's love.
All you need is love.
Love is all you need. Well, I think there's a lot of truth in that. You know, I do. I really do. You guys have heard me say that multiple times. But I think you can't say it enough. Some people need to hear it until they hear it. You know?
Yeah, until they have that V8 moment.
Oh, I used to love V8.
Oh, I still do.
I still love it too.
Yes, you can say hi. You ready?
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Raina.
Hi,
Good to see you,
Anna.
sweetheart. Are you having a good
See you too,
day?
Anna. Yeah,
Awesome.
I've been playing Roblox on the Xbox all morning.
Oh,
Well,
man.
you did your chores too.
Yeah.
So.
And I brushed my hair a little bit.
Gee, I wonder if I even remembered to do that. Every now and then, I just really don't care. Just go about doing what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, whatever. It's just me.
I do that too.
Hi, Pappy.
I think he stepped away. Sorry, Heather. I had to put
Either that
something
or
in my
Bobo's
stomach.
talking.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, sorry, I hadn't said anything. I had to put something in my stomach.
That's fine. Were you listening?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what really matters. Well, I don't know how much that matters. Well, it does matter. Listening does matter. I'm not gonna waver on that.
Yep.
I don't know if anything I have to say matters, but I do
It
my
does.
best. I do my best.
You're a beautiful soul, Heather. You and Jeff and Raina.
Yes, Pugs, you can come up and ask
You
your
have
question.
you have a
Absolutely.
really good way of communicating. You know, you put words out there so well. You know, easier to interpret. I guess I appreciate that you keep things at a level because you really do a lot of studying and have a lot of intelligence where you could use some big words and really throw me off balance here.
Yeah.
Woman.
I don't do that on purpose. I don't try
I
to
know
throw
you
people off. I try to find the right way to say things because I have studied the origin of words. I try to find the right way to really get my true meaning across. Not everybody
yeah.
hears the true meaning that I'm trying to convey, but I do my best. Hey, Pugs.
You do an awesome job.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
Joanna.
Hello, Raina.
She's already back in her room. She
Oh,
likes to pop out and say hi and then run away.
oh man.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
My daughter's sick and she thinks the baby's getting it now.
Oh,
I
no.
I told her, I said, well, have my son-in-law bring her down, and I'll just keep her until my daughter gets better, which I don't mind doing. Well, I think she's getting sick. I said, all the more reason for you to bring her down, have her come down and stuff. So
Yep.
she hasn't, I haven't heard from her to take her to, to meet her at the doctor's, the pediatricians with her. So I'm going to I'd be the one having to go in to the pediatrician with her, with my daughter on, on the phone with us. Because my
Well,
daughter won't be able to go in. So
have you made that citrus concoction, which we cannot say the name of?
no, I told her I have a box of detox tea, and I'm putting a couple packets of hibiscus tea in with it, and hopefully my son-in-law come by and get it.
How old's the baby again? She's just little, right? 13.
She's 13 months. Yeah, 13 months.
There's
I'd
going to be
meet
some
some,
things that you can't give the baby.
right.
Like that
Well,
detox tea's not going to be her.
oh
System's
no,
not set up
that's
for
for my
that yet.
daughter. That's for my daughter. If my grandma, if my granddaughter, I didn't sleep too good last night. If my granddaughter would come here, I would make homemade chicken broth or chicken stock, and then leave the bones in it after it cooked real good, and make sure there's no bones in her, sift it out and puree it a little bit and give it to her.
Yeah.
Have that,
Hey,
marrow out of the chicken bone in there.
and that'll help a lot too. There's
Yeah.
some healthy stuff in bone marrow.
Yep.
Another thing is especially for the adults, but even for the little one, lemon juice in water, or lemon,
Yeah.
squeeze lemon in water.
Yeah, I'd probably squeeze it in her Pedialyte.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go pick up some fresh lemons after I get done with my appointment here in a bit.
Yeah.
What I wanted to
viruses
ask.
can't live in an alkaline system.
What I wanted to ask was, I had a vivid dream, and I had it again this morning when I went and laid back down. The exact same dream. We're in a barn-like type environment. And I'm sitting down, there's a bunch of people, kind of like a picnic type thing. But we're not in the barn, we're not outside of it. We're like in the overhangs on the outside of it. You know what I mean? Underneath the overhang. Well, anyways, we're sitting there, and this white owl comes and flies and sits on my head. Nobody's scared. I'm not scared. I'm like, oh, how cool. And everybody's taking pictures. Well, I didn't like people taking pictures of it, but I could take a picture of it with me. I got it off my head, and I got it down, and I kind of like held it next to my chest. And the thing was real friendly. It kind of like snuggled with me. I have never had a vivid dream where an animal did that vivid.
Can I ask you, during your dream, were you given a name? Did the animal give you a name?
No.
His name or your name?
No.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a wonderful, sounds like good medicine to me. Were you with us the other day when Robert had read the owl card?
I don't know if I cut out or I had to, do something, or if the phone rang. The phone's been ringing off the hook with telemarketers, people that have been sick. Everybody that's sick's calling me.
Oh, that does happen sometimes.
Well, my aunt was a healer. My aunt was a healer, but she passed away. I can sense when a family member's going to die. I don't know when, I don't know who it is. I can feel spirits come through me. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
My aunt didn't believe me until the night my grandfather passed away. We were sitting in his hospital room, talking, and all of a sudden I said, Grandma's over there, great grandma and grandpa are standing there. I could see outlines of them. I couldn't see them, but I could see outlines and the cold energy that came with them. And my aunt goes, oh my God, you're like 20 degrees colder than you should be. I said, no, I feel fine. I felt warm. But she touched me. My hair was standing straight up on end on my arms, and I was 20 degrees cooler
Uh-huh.
to her touch.
Well, that is actually a
And
gift, I would say.
and I'm like, great grandma's standing next to him. She has her hand on by grandpa. He's going to go tonight. He won't be here in the morning when the sun comes up. He died at 4 a.m.
Hmm.
And my grandma, his wife, my dad, okay, these are my dad's parents. His wife, she died in the hospital. She died in a split second. I said she had an aortic aneurysm, meaning her aorta down below burst. You have to get into surgery within 10 minutes or you will die. 99.9% of people don't make it into surgery for they can clamp that off and fix it. They didn't know what was wrong with her. I said, in a year to the date, a week later, she came to visit me, and I was talking to her like I'm talking to you guys, and we were face to face sitting on the end of my bed. She said, tell your Aunt Rosemary to quit crying. I'm fine. I don't feel no pain. She was thin. She wasn't heavy anymore. She looked young. And I said, and she goes, you stop crying too. You're the one that is the strongest in the family. And we just had this long conversation. I woke up this next morning. I never felt so good in my life.
Wonderful.
You know, I
And
had the same experience. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were through.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When I was little, my mom was on the phone. I didn't know who she was talking to. Me and my sister were still in bed, and my grandma come and sat at the end of my bed. Told me that she was okay, and that she loved us, and that she would always be there. And I busted out crying, and my mama come in there, and she said, what's wrong? I said, Grandma just come and visit me, and she's gone. She's not here no more. And my mom's like, how do you know that? I said, because she sat on the end of the bed and told me. She said, yes, I just found out that she had passed away.
Oh. Yeah, I always knew I knew that they would die, you know, fairly close to when I'd have the feelings and when I could start feeling family members come through me. It's eerie, but at the same time it gives me peace. And having the owl land on me, you know, the last 2 nights. My daughter loves owls. Her house is done with owls everywhere. So I'm wondering if that's a sign that she's going to be okay, that, you know, that she's just got to let whatever this is, bug that she has, she thinks it's a flu because she has the same symptoms as when she had the flu before, it'll just pass through. It's just got to run its course.
Have you ever thought, because white is pure,
Mm-hmm.
you ever thought that that's what it's trying to tell you?
After listening to you guys, it started coming to me.
Yeah.
But that owl in my dream was beautiful.
Yeah. And if you feel, and a lot of times your dreams are they're going to mean something to you. So if you feel like your daughter's energy is wrapped up in that owl, then that may be what your message was. It may also be that wonderful, wise animal has come to you and offered its assistance. You know, it may be that's the medicine you need to employ now. I really don't know. I mean, the thing with dream interpretation is there is no one right or wrong answer. And there's no other person who interprets your dreams better than you. They can
Right.
offer you guidance or what things mean to them or what they've read in a book that means something to someone else. But when it comes down to it, that was your message. And so, and I'm not trying to leave you hanging, Pug. But it's gonna be how you associate that, and maybe Pappy can give you a little bit better answer, because I know that owl medicine is really good medicine, and I would assume that cuddling up with a white owl may mean that you're embracing something with yourself that you didn't before. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it just sat on my head. And I was like, oh, cool. And everybody around me was like, you know, and I just put my arm up there and it came down on my arm and I held it close to my chest.
You know, sometimes I think personally,
Hey,
I
Robert.
think and interpret some of that stuff as things
Everybody.
that are going to come to be that you might not necessarily get the whole message right away, but eventually it'll come to you. It's like a slow manifestation of things coming to light.
Right.
Robert, did you pull that card?
Yeah, I just opened a book, so because she missed it. I opened a book. Yeah, I did pull a card, and it pertains on what you were talking about. But then Love Pugs came up with this, so I opened the book to Owl. So we got 2 readings to 2 medicines today. Actually.
Okay, before you start,
Okay.
I would like to remind everybody on the Native American medicine wheel, we are in the time of owl, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, wow.
So those born during this time frame, they're under the clan of the owl, so to speak.
So my granddaughter would be.
Yeah.
Wow. And my daughter's house got owls all around it. That's phenomenal. I knew my grandbaby had some kind of good spirit in her.
Well, she maybe have picked up some of your capabilities, you know.
That's right. They get it from their from the grandmother or mother.
Yeah, she will not cry when my daughter leaves. If I'm here, you know, my daughter drops her off in the morning, goes to work. She will not cry, but she will scream her head off if I leave the room. And my mom comes over and sits with her and my dad, because they come together so they can spend time with her. And I run and do what I got to do, then come back. She will scream until after I'm gone. And I thought that was like, wow, I have a closeness to her.
It's more than a closeness, it's a connection.
Oh, I love it even more now.
Would you like to hear the owl card?
Yes.
All right. Owl. So, captioned by Deception. Owl magic omens. Owl. Magic omens, time and space. Does the truth emerge? Casting out deception. Silent flight. Sacred medicine bird. Owl medicine is symbolically associated with clairvoyance, astral projection, and magic, both black and white. Owl is called night eagle on several medicine wheels used by the Amerindian teachings traditionally. Owl sits in the east, the place of illumination. Since time immemorial, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark, and the unseen. waiting fearful for the first crack of morning light. Inversely, night is owl's friend. Owl hunts its prey at night. Not only can owl see in the dark, it can also accurately pinpoint and identify any sound. This gives it a great advantage when seeking food. Owls are the night hunters. Some native people are fearful of owl and call its feathers deceiver feathers. An owl feather is silent. You cannot hear owl when it flies, but its prey definitely knows when it strikes, for its beak and talons are razor sharp. Owl is oftentimes the medicine of sorcerers and witches. If the owl is your medicine, you'll be drawn to magical practices and perhaps explore the dark arts. You should resist any temptation to practice black magic or any art that takes energy away from another person or being. If you have owl medicine, these night birds will have a tendency to collect around you, even in the daytime, because they recognize a kinship with you. Is it any wonder that in many cultures, owl is a symbol for wisdom? This is because owl can see that which others cannot, which is the essence of true wisdom. Where others are deceived, owl sees and knows what is there. Athena, the Greek god of wisdom, had a companion owl on her shoulder, which revealed unseen truths to her. Owl had the ability to light up Athena's blind side and enable her to speak the whole truth, as opposed to only half the truth. If owl is your personal medicine, no one can deceive you about what they are doing, no matter how they try to distinguish it or hide it from you. You may be a little frightening to be around, since so many people have ulterior motives which you see right through. If you are unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insights and ability for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. All medicine people know more about an individual's inner life than the person knows about herself or himself. If you have pulled the owl card, you are being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation to intuit some life situation. Owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing the total truth. Owl can bring you messages in the night through dreams or meditation. Pay attention to the signals and omens. The truth always brings further enlightenment.
Wow, thank you, Robert.
You want the contrary medicine? That's if I didn't actually pull the card, so I'll read contrary. If you have owl upside down in your cards, you have been greatly deceived by either yourself or another. Perhaps witchcraft or black magic is being used against you, or maybe you are using witchcraft or sorcery to aid you when you should be praying and asking for the Great Spirit for guidance. The message is befriend the darkness inside yourself. Look deeply, and soon the bright light of dawn will illuminate you. Then ask yourself, what are you in the dark about? How and by whom are you being deceived? Mm-hmm. Have you lied to yourself about someone or something? Are you being greatly deceived or just slightly deceived? Owl tells you to keep an eye on your property and your loved ones. Remember that owl is always asking, who? Does that resonate with you?
A little bit.
I have a feeling you have good insight into those around you and how to read them. And yeah. I also have a feeling that you attribute that to things you learned during your service. But I think it's deeper than that for you. I bet you've always had a pretty keen understanding of those around you, even adults when you were a child.
Yeah.
Because you can see through the darkness.
Well, another thing I'd like to bring up is that one of the native names that I know the owl by is Huhuhamhepiwi. Huhu is the name of owl. Okay, that's in Lakota. Hanhepiwi is the night sun. Okay, so it is moon owl. That's actually what it would, what they call it, moonbird. But one of the terms that is often used is that the owl is also called the night eagle, the eagle of the night. Now, if you look at the symbology of eagle in the daytime, that which flies highest to creator, okay, and the owl is that which, rules the night, which is a reflection of creator on the dark side. That is also very much a feminine power symbol. Okay, so you have masculine with the sun, moon, female, feminine. Okay, so it's a balance of the two. And the owl is able to see clearly in the nighttime through the reflection of the true light, so to speak. So Huhuhamhepiwi is a powerful, powerful symbol that sees everything in the shadows and is attracted to that which is familiar to it and is not afraid of it at all. Hence, it comes up to you and says, I am the spirit of your granddaughter that lives within her. And like the cuddling arm that you give me in the daytime, I'll let you give me in the nighttime as well. And I'm here for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I gotta go because I gotta be somewhere at 4, but thank you for the, the meetings and stuff, because that helped me out a lot.
Anytime.
Good.
And I've noticed since I moved my dream catcher, stuff's coming more clearly through in my dreams. So it's got a
Wonderful.
path on both sides that you can go, light can go through it now.
Yep. Perfect.
That's
So
excellent. Well, you have a great day, honey. Be safe
Yeah.
out there.
see you guys tomorrow.
Much love.
Much love to everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Mhm.
Bye, love,
Bye.
love you.
Oh, thank you guys. I know she wanted to ask that question yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, it's right back. Let's go back to the name of your topic for today, Heather. Okay. What's the color of your soul garment?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on which light you're standing in, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
When you want to see the true color of something, you shine a light on it.
It's really interesting that you said that. Oh, sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to answer that question of the topic. I seen another raindrop this morning, and it was crystalline, reflecting the colors of the rainbow, of the light.
Beautiful.
So, I'm rainbow. I didn't have to search for the answer. The answer was given to me.
Maybe creator's saying, hey, stop being a drip and get moving.
Yeah.
I'm just joshing with you.
And you know what? You
That's
seen the picture last night. I am facing a entire forest. One drop was illuminated.
Yep.
You know what I love? I love that you can appreciate the small things.
I have a lot of help. With all y'all, everyone I know, you know.
Pappy, when you said that about shining the light to see the real color, it brought to mind how trees live the whole season, every season, in a different way. Right now, our trees are sleeping, but in the spring they'll bud and bring forth their leaves, and those leaves will be green for most of the leaf life. It will be green right until the very end, when it shows its true color. And in the fall is when we get to see the true color of every tree is shown in the fall for just that fleeting moment in time. Because I don't know about you guys, but where I live, as soon as the leaves change, it's not even a week after that, and they're all on the ground.
Yeah.
How beautiful, though. Those moments when you see that. How amazing and astonishing. I love the fall. The fall is a very special season to me. And I think that's part of it. But it's always, even before I knew that the fall color of a tree was its true color, I still love the fall best. And I think it was because you can smell the earth so much. It's so rich in the fall. And you don't need rain to smell it. You don't need the different weather, to bring up the smell. Like in the summer, if you get a summer rain, you can smell the earth. But it's usually after a rain. But in the fall, the whole season, it's my favorite bit, going out there and just being able to smell all that soil and the trees and the different life. And it's also the season where things come and go here, right? So everything that migrates away from my area migrates around that time. And everything that stays for winter is setting up its space for winter. And it's really a remarkable time. And I feel somewhat like we are in the fall of, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm feeling this about myself. I'm not sure. Maybe I am in the fall of my life, in that reflection time.
Well, how is it that you are able to see the expanseness of the whole from the very smallest thing that you observe? Now, Robert, I changed my avatar for you and then also for this lesson because Heather led right into it. If you want to pull that avatar up so everybody can see it, do you see what that is?
That's the curly end of a vine reaching out.
That's the curly end of a vine. And off the curly end of that vine is hanging a single dewdrop.
Oh yeah.
And there's an ant drinking from that dewdrop. But what I wanted to point out is if you look closely at the dewdrop, you see that it contains within it a picture of the whole. Do you see the whole world inside of the raindrop?
Yep.
That's the power of one drop of spirit. And that little ant right there is drinking of spirit, filtered through the vines of the Earth Mother. And taken within it another drop, perhaps to bring back to the hive that will also contain within it the whole. You know, the true colors that come out at various times of the year, either in the flowers or in the deepness of the green of the flowers, you know, or the changing of the leaves, or even the changing of the color of the soil, depending upon the moisture that's in it or the organic materials in it. It is all a microcosmic expression of everything. And the colors change depending upon the seasons that they're in, or the times, or the occurrences, or, you know, all the circumstances. So the change always happens. The truth is always there. And if you think of Kirlian photography, where they are able to photograph the energy waves that come off of all things, now you're talking of true colors. That's the true color of the spirit frequencies that operates you and everything around you. That's beautiful. You get into those places where you can taste the colors when you go into the spirit world, or you can hear the song of colors. You know, that's the way it is.
That's beautiful, Pappy. Thank you.
So you had the whole world in that little raindrop, Robert, twice.
It was very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing compares.
Thanks for sharing that observation that, you know, you took the time to notice.
Well, you know, Robert is a good example of one of the sayings that I have. Don't pay attention to the things that catch your eye. Pay attention to the things that grab your heart. Because there's a big difference in the meaning that they will give you.
Yeah.
Those things that catch your eye are things of this world. Those things that catch your heart, they're of all the worlds.
Wow.
Beautiful. You know, it reminds me of, you remember the movie Men in Black?
Of course.
The galaxy is on Orion's belt. What we don't understand is that something so great and wonderful can be held within the tiniest droplet. And I have to mute again because Jeff's fixing some stuff on the roof and it's going to get loud.
He's up there sitting on reindeer traps again, isn't he? Like
No,
that
he's
funny,
just,
that funny fat guy in that red suit gonna get stuck in the chimney.
Yeah.
Hey, honey.
Thank you
said
for your
you were
kind
setting
words,
reindeer
Pappy.
Am I on that? All right.
Don't tell Rena.
No, they aren't kind words, Robert. They're just words of observation.
Thank
I
you.
tried to say them kindly.
You know I'm bad with words. I don't know. Things are changing for me.
Well,
Jeff
I'm
said he's
glad.
being nice. He's baiting them with carrots.
Yeah, sure. He's probably putting bear traps up there.
Still baiting.
Yeah, I'm baiting them.
Tim said hi, by the way.
By golly, change is something we should all be looking forward to, because without it, we don't have any movement.
Yeah.
We don't have any challenges. We don't have any opportunities
Catch
to
my
ask
breath.
questions and try to find new information. We don't have the opportunity to take new information and apply it so we can get the wisdom from it.
Yep.
At least that's what Bo says.
Yep.
Bo speaks wise words. That's
That's right.
right, Bobo. You tell him.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's confirmation.
Well, you know, that's the wonderful thing about the world we live in, is everything is constantly in communication with us if we slow down and pay attention.
Absolutely.
Even the tiniest drop.
And then
Well, there's a lot of people, they go, 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 go. They never sit down and take the time to think about things.
Yep. Crystal took the words right out of my mouth. People are in too big a hurry.
Yes. And I
Well,
feel like Go ahead,
let's put
Kevin.
another layer on that. They're not only in too big a hurry, but that's by design.
Right.
You know, if you get enough distraction and
Yep.
chaos and that sort of stuff going on in the world around you, you know, and you don't start to do what Robert does and what many of us do, is pay attention to the little things, to the subtle things, to the whispers that are going in the back channels, you don't get the true information. The negative don't want you to be positive.
You got that right, Pappy.
I know, I was up on the roof. Yeah. Scared you, didn't I?
So in fact, all that thing about people telling me that I overanalyze and I think too much, they aren't necessarily right.
We can sometimes create a lot of our own noise, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We're quick to judge. Too many people's quick to judge.
Truth is the quietest noise.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad you guys brought that up. I'm gonna suggest something. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the energy centers, the chakras in our bodies.
I am.
Okay. When you hear yourself, and I'm air quoting here, doing negative speak, that doesn't come from your soul. That doesn't come from your spirit. I would like you to think about where that resides. And every time you hear something negative, it normally comes from your throat chakra. It doesn't come from your mind. It doesn't come from your heart. You'll find, if you sit and reflect on this, that your negative self-talk often comes from your ability to speak truth, your own truth, right? And so that also is your worst critic. And so every time you hear something negative inside, count every word until it stops talking. Now, I know that seems elementary, but I promise you it works. And it also will help you improve your focus a little bit to be able to sit in silence with yourself. You know that silence is golden expression that's been used over and over in probably not always the right manner or connotation. Silence is golden. If you can sit within the silence of yourself. But I'm going to tell you, it's a battle sometimes, especially, well, a lot of people have a real problem with their inner speak. And
There were no words.
sometimes we have to work beyond that. And the suggestion that I've given is simply a tool, right? Choose to use it or find another way, and that's fine too. But we have to overcome a lot of what we've been taught in order to truly learn. And I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Well, there's a lot of people. I've always heard there's an angel on one side and the devil on the other side, and it's up to you to choose which way you want to go or which way you want to listen.
Life is all about unlearning who you were told you are to uncover who you really are.
Yep.
And that's a work in progress. It's not finished.
I know this is a little bit off topic, but I don't let my past define who I am today.
I would say that's right in line with topic, Crystal.
I'm saying
Our-
that's pretty good words for people to be listening to.
Yeah. And, you know, our life is a journey. And we will have many adventures. And we will have many fallings down.
Many roller
But
coasters.
there's a lesson in each and every one of those. It doesn't mean you live in that place. It means you get up, you dust off, and you proceed down that road, right? So when you said, I don't let my past define me today, that's very important, and it's very pertinent. Many people have built their personage, their who they are around the events of their past, and we layer it up much like garments. And so when you shed off the definitions you gave yourself at that point in your life due to whatever circumstances, when you shed those garments, you grow, you move forward. That's one less weight.
Well, if you let your past trap you and not move along to your future, all you doing is backstepping. You're never going to get to where you need to be if you're stuck in the past that you were in.
What we need to learn is how to be our own best friend. And I'm going to say that in the light of a light-hearted little few words here. You know, if you see yourself stumbling or whatever, and the inner self goes, "You dumbass, what the hell? Didn't I tell you not to do that? What are you? You're never going to learn." Blah, 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 blah. That's not a friend, even though they're walking with you. And if that's yourself talking to yourself, that's not a real friend. A real friend will look at you and go, "Ha, ha, ha, you dumbass, how did that feel?" And get you to look at what you've done in a lighthearted way. And say, you know, are you ready? Are you all done down there exploring the dirt up close? You ready to go ahead for a walk now? A real friend.
Can you hear the crow?
Yeah, won't take the obstacles away, but will make you observe them from a different way. And won't constantly remind you of the obstacles all the time, so you have to go back and revisit them and beat yourself up. That's not a true friend. You have those friends live within you too. I like the friend that said that Josh is with me and says, "Okay, yeah, I can laugh at that situation now. I won't do that again. That's a good lesson learned." You know, thanks. You know, you dumbass. You know, when the bear's coming, you know, which friend do you want to trip so the bear catches them? You know what I'm saying?
My inner friend always tells me, I told you were built too close to the ground.
Hey, I just had a friend visit. Could you guys hear him?
Yes.
I didn't hear. I was talking.
Mr. Crow came to visit me.
Oh, the crow flew by again?
No, he was right in front of me again, talking.
He wants to be on the show.
He was.
Perhaps you need to revisit crow medicine.
He's he was right straight in front of me again. Wow. He's had a lot to say this time. Crow. Let me find him.
I'd like to stay, you guys, but I have to take care of some things. I'm going to have to go. I love you all. I had a great conversation and some good learning here. Lots of good sharing.
I
Thank
love
you,
Anna.
Anna.
Have a
You
great
guys
day,
have a
honey.
Love you,
your-
Anna. Bye.
Love
Have a
you
good
guys
day.
too.
important
Have a
addition
great
today,
day,
Anna.
okay? Love you, Pappy.
Love
Take
you
care
too.
Love ya.
Love ya.
Stay warm.
I am curious, Robert. You said you pulled a card earlier, and then we ended up reading Owl. Out of curiosity, may I ask, what was the card that you pulled?
Turkey.
Really interesting.
That's exactly what Pappy was talking about earlier.
That's a smart bird right there.
The giveaway.
Oh. Wow.
Yep, turkey giveaway. Yeah. Oh, brother turkey, so freely you give of everything that you are, so others may truly live. Turkey is actually thought to be the giveaway eagle or south eagle of many native peoples. The philosophy or giveaway was practiced by many tribes. Simply stated, it is the deep and abiding recognition of the sacrifices of both self and others. People in modern day society who have many times more than they need should study the noble turkey, who sacrifices itself so that we may live. In turkey's death, we have our life. Honor turkey. Spectators unfamiliar with the culture phenomenon of potlatch or giveaway ceremony are often mystified by it. A tribal member may gladly give away all she or he owns and do without in order to help the people. In present day urban life, we are taught to acquire and get ahead. The person with the most toys wins the game. In some cultures, no one can win the game unless the whole of the people's needs are met. A person who claims more than his or her share is looked upon as selfish or crazy or both. The poor, the aged, and the feeble have honor. The person who gives away the most and carries the burdens of the people is the one of the most respected. Turkey was the medicine of many saints and mystics. Celebrate if you have turkey medicine. Your virtues are many. You have transcended self. You act and react on behalf of others. You aspire to help those who need help. This is not out of some sense of self-righteous moralism or religious guilt. Help and sustenance are given by turkey out of the realization that all life is sacred. It is knowing that the Great Spirit resides within all people. It is an acknowledgement that what you do for others, you do for yourself. Turkey medicine rests in true ego, in enlightenment. Doing unto others and feeding the people is the message of all true spiritual systems. Depending how turkey is aspected in your cards, you are being given a gift. This gift could be spiritual, material, or even intellectual. The gift may be great or small, but it is never insignificant. Congratulations, you may have just won the lottery, or the gift may be a beautiful sunset, or the smell of a fragrant flower. On the other hand, you may feel the spirit of giving growing within you and wanting to share with others. And if I think it came contrary. There are several aspects to pulling the gobbler card in the reverse position. Are you gobbling up anything and everything out of fear of lack? Are you holding on too tight or refusing to let go of a dime for charity? It could be that the Scrooge in you has grown accustomed to the miserly aspect of living. If not, you might look at the possibility that you are fearful of spending money at this time. Another aspect of contrary gobbling is the idea that the world owes you something and that you do not need to recycle the energy. The buck stops here may only mean that it stops in your bank account. On all levels of this contrary medicine, the keynote is that generosity of spirit is being neglected. This can be toward yourself or towards others. Remember, never give to receive. That is manipulation. Giving is without regret and with a joyful heart, or the giveaway has lost its true meaning.
Very interesting.
That goes along with what we're talking about.
Sure does.
I love how it always comes full circle.
How did it say that? Give away your drama. Give away all the drama. Give away all the suffering. It goes to what Heather said. Open your chakras. Get rid of the sorrow. It's a giveaway. So give it away. If you give it away, it's the intent. If you want to give away your depression, your anxiety, you do it with the intent to help others. Others will see you shine after you do so. And that's how you do for others, but you do for yourself too.
And there are many ways that you can. Go ahead, Pappy.
You said shine, Robert. Okay. And shine is a key word of what you just said. Because I've always said this before. We are the gift. We are creators giveaway. That shine that is within us. Creator had a giveaway of itself to us.
Yep.
So that spirit of giveaway was within us, and we should honor that spirit of giveaway within us, because we know that as we are a giveaway to Creator, we are feeding back all of our experiences, all of our co-creation, everything back to Creator. So it's going back. That which is given away returns in a different form, much richer than it left. You are the gift. You are the giveaway. Because you are the giveaway, you should be in a giveaway mood all the time. Whether it's you want to give away negativity or give away positivity. Both are healthy. In this case, both are healthy. You give away both, and you'll never have lack of either.
There's something to be said for that.
Yep. In the end, you're going to end up with more positivity than you are negativity. Because believe it or not, negativity takes up more space inside an area than does positivity. Once you get rid of negativity, you've got unlimited terabytes of power left to fill with positivity. Oh my God, talk about shining.
It's fun too. I mean, it's very, very, very pleasing.
Mm-hmm. Makes life exciting, doesn't it, Robert?
Yes, sir. Very, very exciting.
It makes it feel fulfilling at the end of each day.
Yeah.
And exciting the next morning. What's going to happen today?
Yeah. Or you walk into a department store and say, who can I make smile today?
Yeah.
What's going to happen today is me, literally every day.
Tim wants to hear crow, huh?
Yes.
It's kind of long. I'll read this for Tim. Since we were visited by crow in the now time. So, Crow, this is for you. This is for the time you spent with me this morning. Crow, are you crowing so I may know the secrets of balance within my soul? Or are you sending your sacred caw just to remind me of the universal laws? There's a medicine story that tells of Crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, scratching at it, pecking at it until her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow's shadow ate her. Crow is dead Crow now. Dead Crow is the left-handed guardian. If you look deeply into Crow's eyes, you will have found the gateway to the supernatural. Crow knows the unknowable mysteries of creation and is the keeper of all sacred law. Since Crow is the keeper of sacred law, Crow can bend the laws of the physical universe and shapeshift. This ability is rare and unique. Few adepts exist in today's world, and fewer have mastered Crow's art of shapeshifting. This art includes doubling, or being in two places at one time, consciously, taking on another physical form and becoming the fly on the wall to observe what is happening far away. The Europeans that came to Turtle Island were named the boat people by the slow turtle. Even with the knowledge of alchemy possessed by certain boat people, none had ever seen the powerful shape-shifting of shamans who utilized Crow medicine. Many boat people were frightened by what appeared to be animals coming into their camps or dwellings to discern their medicine. Crow medicine people are masters of illusion. All sacred texts are under the protection of Crow. Creator's Book of Laws, or Book of Seals, is bound in crow feathers. Crow feathers tell the spirit made flesh. Crow is also the protector of the Ogala, or ancient records. The sacred law belts, or wantum belts, beaded by native women long before the boat people or Europeans came to this country, contain knowledge of the Great Spirit's laws and are kept in the black lodges, the lodges of women. The law which states that all things are born of women is signified by Crow. Children are taught to behave according to the rules of particular culture. Though most orthodox religious systems create a mandate concerning acceptable behavior within the contents of worldly affairs. Do this, and so you will go to heaven. Do thus, and so, and you will go to hell. Different formulas for the salvation are demanded by each truth faith. Human law is not the same as sacred law, more so than any other medicine. Crow sees that the physical world and even the spiritual world as humanity interprets them. They are an illusion. There are billions of worlds. There are an infinite amount of creatures. Great Spirit is within all. If all individual obeys Crow's perfect laws as given by the Creator, then at death he or she dies a good medicine death, going on to the next incarnation with a clear memory of his or her past. Crow is an omen of change. Crow lives in the void and has no sense of time. The ancient chiefs tell us that Crow sees simultaneous the three fates, past, present, and future. Crow merges light and darkness, seeing both inner and outer reality. If Crow medicine appears in your card spread, you must pause and reflect on how you see the laws of the Great Spirit in relation to the laws of humanity. Crow medicine signifies a first-hand knowledge of a higher order of right and wrong than that indicated by the laws created in human culture. With Crow medicine, you speak in a powerful voice when addressing issues that seem out of harmony, out of balance, or out of whack, or unjust. Remember that Crow looks at the world with first one eye and then the other, cross-eyed. In the Mayan culture, cross-eyeds had the privilege and duty of looking into the future. You must put aside your fear of being a voice in the wilderness and call the shots as you see them. As you learn to allow your personal integrity to be your guide, your sense of feeling alone will vanish. Your personal will can then emerge so that you will stand in your truth. The prime path of true Crow peoples Say it is mindful of your opinions and actions. Be willing to walk your talk and speak your truth. Know your life's mission and balance the past, present, and future in the now. Shift that old reality and become your future self. Allow the bending of physical laws to aid in the creating of the shape shifted world of peace. So, in the contrary, so you are an outlaw today, eh? This is one of the varied messages of Crow reversed. The rebel in you has given a yell, and all hell is about to break loose. A word to the wise at this point: make sure that you are stepping on toes. You have some backup. The catalyst for a barroom brawl is usually the person with two black eyes. That is what it means to eat crow. If you do not plan to go, if you do not plan to go to such extremes, crow reverse may indicate that you merely cheating a little on your diet or covertly watching the neighbors have a spat or thinking promises are to be broken. In many of these situations, the only loser is you. If you are lying to yourself on any level, you have lost the power of crow. Think about it, and maybe your inner truth will come to you. In seeing what is true, you may need to weed out the past beliefs or ideas to bring yourself into present moment. Contrary Crow speaks of needing to remember that divine law is not judgment or denial of self truths. Divine law is honoring harmony that comes from a peaceful mind, an open heart, a true tongue, a light step, a forgiving nature, and a love of all living creatures. Honor the past as your teacher, honor the present as your creation, and honor the future as your inspiration. Refusing to honor the shifts in your reality can cause emotional pain, and an implosion of energy is apparent when the rebellion surfaces. Contrary Crow speaks of broken law. The law of expansion is broken by suppression. This may apply to a situation, an old habit, a person you have given your authority to, or your own fears. It is always your own creation. So call on Crow and shift that creation to your new reality. I like that.
Wowza.
I thought you would, Robert.
Yeah.
You can kind of see who that might apply to, huh?
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
More than one of you here, by the way.
I would say that was quite in line with the entire conversation today. All of it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my pleasure, and I hope that the medicine goes to wherever it's needed now and in the future.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes, thank you, big brother.
Well, I would like to just add a little bit to what you just said, Robert. Take hope out of that,
Yes.
okay, and replace it with the word faith in Creator. Faith in Creator, sending that to where it needs to go. That way you don't have to bring yourself into it at all. Just go, I felt that blowing through me, Creator. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we've wound ourselves right back round. And that's a good place, I think, to close
Yeah.
the show. What do you all feel?
Yes.
You might think that we've gone full circle, but we haven't. We've gone up on the spiral in a circular motion.
Yep.
That's why I didn't say full circle. I said it wound back around. I've been doing a lot of spiral thinking lately too, Pappy.
Everything is a loop. Here we go, loop de loop, building our new chains, our new loops, our new links in the golden necklace.
I remember that song, but you were just singing.
And then we get to the end, and we can get to the other canoe to the other side, camp on the other side of the river, and jump off there, and everybody gets out there and starts singing, celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. Yeah.
Gonna be amazing.
Yep. Got a good day planned for me today. Me and Corlene.
Awesome.
We're going to do some grounding today. The beach.
There you go.
Yep.
Ooh, wonderful.
And if you think this has been great, listen to that song. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, I will ask you all to give your wind up thoughts, and we'll go ahead and let this sit with everybody and kind of gestate. Go ahead, Crystal.
Love, light, and happiness. Hope y'all all had a wonderful day and have a wonderful night. And I love you and Robert and Happy. And I love y'all in the chat too as well.
Big brother.
Be Crow and let go. Start new. You are co-creator of your future. I dropped a couple links in there to help you step up and step out of the matrix. Paul Willis has 30 years experience as a preacher, and he'll set you straight. Be the Crow. Have a great day, everybody.
Pappy, my pappy.
I'd like to have everybody be cognizant and aware of one of the things that usually happens at social gatherings, native social gatherings. Usually we ask people to come to social gatherings and bring a dish to share with everyone. And then at the end of the gathering, all that is left over is divided up amongst the people so that they can take it with them to share to those that weren't there, so that the togetherness is shared out even further. And that's what these gatherings are all about. That's what our gathering is all about. Remember, we are the giveaway. We are to give away. If we do that, there is no want. There is no need. There is no hunger. There is no cold. There is no loneliness. None of those things. So when you eat and sit down to eat, and when you pass the dish to another that they may also eat, remember to take some with you to those that are outside of the gathering. And don't make them pay for it. For indeed, you did not pay for it in the first place. You have no right to charge for it.
Yeah.
Amen.
Wow. I hope that everybody got as much from today as I did. And I want to thank each and every one of you, all of you, in chat and on panel, because every time we have a conversation, I learn something new about myself. And I hope that each and every one of you do as well.
I do.
And It is truly an amazing journey, and I am so blessed to have you all on the road beside me.
Take care, Pappy. Get your painting done, sir.
Love you all.
Love
Love
you.
I
you.
want you all to have a great day.
You
Love
too.
you. Love you all.